Hey guys, it's Rod from Huntington Company, and today, at the end of the week of Watches and Wonders, I chose to give my quick opinion on what I saw with the new releases and also what it did for the market, specifically for Rolex, and then we're going to be announcing the giveaway winner for this month's brand new marathon. So with that, let's take a closer look at Watches and Wonders and see what I thought of all the new releases and also what it did to the market.
One, two, three, four.
All right, I'm not going to break down every little thing that I saw from Watches and Wonders because a lot of the big publishers and YouTubers have already done so, and I bet that you guys have watched all of those videos as watch geeks already. But what I'm going to highlight is brands that I personally love, which is first Rolex, Cartier, and then a little bit from Tudor. With Rolex, I think it was very mundane and underwhelming. They came out with a brand new caliber for the Daytona, which is awesome. But in my opinion, putting a see-through case back and just changing some design elements on the dial for an anniversary is not that exciting. I think they should have came out with some sort of green, if it's just for the chronograph registers or even the bezel, just something with a little bit of green would have been beautiful. And it would have been a staple for an anniversary edition of Rolex, in my opinion. But they didn't. And everyone was talking about the all-gold GMT and the new bezel and the little minute changes from the Zenith design elements on the brand new Daytona, which is all fun. But I don't think Rolex tried as hard as they could have. I always think about the Rolex Datejust. For Rolex's 40th anniversary, they came out with a brand new movement, the automatic self-winding movement with a date. And what they chose to do with that movement is come out with a brand new watch, which was the Rolex Datejust, and at the same time they came out with a brand new bracelet, the Jubilee. And now both the watch and the bracelet are icons, but Rolex doesn't do anything that crazy anymore. All they do is change the color of the dial, discontinue a previous model, and call it a day. In my opinion, it's not that exciting, and that's why I love vintage watches. But at the same time, it did help the Daytona market, and a lot of these Daytonas did go up in value, especially the previously discontinued ceramic bezel. And on top of that, there's a lot of popularity now surrounding the Zenith Daytona. For a lot of people who are just into modern or just getting into the watch world and always loved the Daytona, now it gave them a chance to look into what the Zenith Daytona was, because the brand new Daytona does have a lot of design elements deriving from the 16520. So it's only right that you look into the history of Rolex and why the Zenith is so important. And at the same time, the whole Daytona market is now going crazy. From the previous discontinued ceramic bezels to the solid gold John Mayer in white gold with a blue dial and the green dial with a yellow gold case. I don't think that these watches are going to hold the value that they're holding now. I think it's just surrounded with a bunch of hype. We have to understand that there is economic changes happening, and not everybody is going to be willing to spend thousands of dollars on watches for all of this year. There's a lot going on, so please don't get caught up in the hype. But at the same time, taking a look at some other brands that I truly love, Cartier, I think, killed it and was one of the top dogs in this year's Watches and Wonders. They came out with the Cartier Tank Normal, which I think is one of the most beautiful and stunning watches ever. Something about that thick and industrial style case while still having elegance with the Cartier dial and just the design attributes I think are so stunning. And they came out with a handful of limited edition, to an extent, 200 pieces, and then lesser quantities for some of the more rare variations. But the Cartier Tank Normal is a gorgeous watch, and I think they did great with the reissue, especially with the bracelet, I think in platinum and solid gold. And then they did come out with a skeleton, which I think is also just as stunning. And then for the Saint Dumont, they pulled from their heritage and put a plain in the bottom left corner, and I also think that that is a gorgeous watch, also limited to a few pieces. So probably not something that you're easily going to be able to pick up, but still something that we can admire online and take a look at photos all over Instagram from some of the biggest Cartier collectors. And then there is Tudor. Tudor has always come out with some pretty controversial things if it's too many color variations or size variations in a watch, but I think this year it was actually pretty cool to see a 37mm Black Bay, and I think it's going to be the perfect watch for anybody looking for something more affordable while still finding something rugged and well built. The Black Bay is a great watch to start out with or to have as a daily beater. So in 37mm, I think that is a perfect size for anyone. So that is my opinion on what I mainly saw from Watches and Wonders. There's a lot of other cool stuff that was released from Jaeger and so on, but in my opinion, Rolex, Cartier, and Tudor are really what I always have my eyes on and what had everyone talking. IWC did great with the Ingenieur, but I think it's a little overpriced, but I get it. They're competing with the Royal Oak and the Nautilus, but it's not for me, so I didn't really care much about it. Rolex was underwhelming, Cartier was overwhelming and beautiful, and Tudor came out with something as simple as a 37mm case Black Bay, and I think that was actually the best idea that they could come up with because it makes sense. The Tudor Black Bay is a great watch, and when it comes to a 37mm case, I don't think you can beat it. For a market update coming from Watches and Wonders, I think a lot of the Rolex sport models are now trending because that's what we saw mostly. We saw a lot of changes for the GMT, some discontinuations, including the Milgauss, and then a lot surrounding the Rolex Daytona. So we can only imagine that these watches are going up in the secondary market, and that is true. How high will they go and how low will they go afterwards? I don't know. There's a lot of economic things happening, as you guys know, a lot of shifts happening, good or bad. We are looking to see a recession, and some people think we're already in a recession, which I do agree. So with that being said, I don't think the market is on an up and up, but I think we're starting to find more stable numbers, and these numbers that we're seeing with Rolex Daytonas specifically and other sport models for this week and coming into April, I think is just surrounded by a lot of hype. So be wary and be careful. I think prices could fall another 5 to 15% depending on certain models, and even more for the overhyped stuff like the Daytonas. But again, I could be wrong. Prices could just keep going up till the holiday season like they have before, but it just depends on what we see in the economy also. With that being said, that is my opinion from what I saw with Watches and Wonders and a market update on what I've been seeing with vintage and neo-vintage Rolex. Now let's talk about this month's winner. All right, guys, first I want to say a big thank you for everybody who participated in this month's giveaway. I love all you guys, and I am truly blessed to have you guys be part of our channel and the company itself. I want to say a big thank you to everybody who likes, comments, and shares on every video we post. It truly means a lot. I hope that we can do more giveaways in the future, so please keep an eye out on our Instagram and our YouTube channel because we'll for sure be doing more of these throughout the year. But for this month, the winner was Seth Chandler, and you won the brand new Marathon. So again, thank you so much for everybody who entered the giveaway. Please stay interacting with our YouTube and Instagram because I promise you there are going to be so many more giveaways this year. And thank you again for everybody who started with us just a few months ago on the YouTube channel and who has stuck around this long and stayed engaging with our content. I hope you guys are loving what we're posting. If you guys ever have any questions, opinions, or video ideas, please feel free to reach out. And for you, Seth, make sure you DM us on Instagram to confirm your delivery address so we can ship this out to you as soon as possible. Thank you guys again so much. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys in the next one.